Well,
We're on Kuf Aleph 101. Ton Rabbono. Hanoisin Eitzim Lecheresh. Person gives wood to a carpenter. Laus Mahen Kisei Vasamen Safsa. And he ordered a chair, but the guy made a bench. O Safsa Vasa Kisei. Rav Meir Omer Nosan Lod Meitzav. He acquired it through the Shinui. And he has to pay the money of the wood. Rav Yehuda Omer, he does not coin it. And he changed what the Balabais wanted, so he has the lower hand. And therefore, Mashvach Yisrael Yitzid, if the value of the new item costs more than the expenses, he gives the expenses. And if the expenses are more than the what the increase in value is, he just pays the increase in value. Rav Meir admits that if he was contracted to make a chair, and he made a chair, but it's not as nice, or safsel no vasa safsel kaor, so there's no shinui. That's what the Balabais wanted. So im hashvach yesra yitzia, loislot mea yitzia. If the shvach is more than the expenses, he pays the expenses. Im hayitzia sel shvach, loislot mea shvach. Iboilu. Yesh shvach samonim elat semer. That when a dyer dyes wool, is the dye considered a dover mamish? Is it a physical item? Oh, ein shvach samonim elat semer. Or it's not considered physical, it's just a change in color. Let's say somebody stole dye. V'dakinu v'tarninu. And he soaked them in order to get them soft enough to be used to dye something. V'tzavaban. And he used it to dye something. So, tepuk lei, mishum dekaninu b'shinu. So do we say that it has mamoshus, and therefore he was coining it through shinui? So the Gemara says lo tzricha shegazel samonim shuyim. Person stole samonim that were already soaked, v'tzavabu, and he used it to dye a garment. So do we say yesh svach samonim gabit semer? There is something physical put on the wool. The Amar Lei, the person that was stolen from, says, Havali Samoni de Shakil, to give me back the dye that you stole from me. Or there isn't anything there. The Amar Lei, the Gazan can say, Les lech gaboy velomidi. I don't have anything. The item doesn't remain, it's in the wool. Amri, so we answer, if we say there's nothing there, why would he say there is nothing here? Name a lay, the Nixon should say, you took away my dye, and you lost them, give them back. The shaila is like this. We say there is no physical aspect of the samonim in the wool. And therefore he has to pay the value of the samonim that he stole. Or we say it's there. The Gazan can say, he shows him the wool with the dye in it. He says, here, take it if you want. Now, Shekilnu, but my shakle. How is the guy supposed to get his samonim back? With saffron, with turpentine? Saffron avurim me'aver. Fine, it will remove the color. But hashava loyavet, you're not going to be able to return the samonim to the owner Elach Mayaskinon, Yigon Shagazol Semer V'Samonim Dechad. You stole wool and the dye, it belonged to one person. And you dyed the wool with those dyes. And he returns the colored wool to the guy he stole it from. So, do we say that there's a shvach? And therefore, when he returned the colored wool, he returned the wool and the dye? It's not in the wool. It's just a change in color. So the wool was given back, but not the samanim. And he still owes him samanim. Amri, tepukle. So what about the following shaila? The yakrle niyala bidmei. Now, usually a colored garment is more valuable than an uncolored garment. And if you're returning the colored garment, you're giving him something more valuable. So you did return the saman. Lo tzricha dezil tzive. The bala, somehow the dye got changed in price. And the owner of the samanim is not getting the samanim returned. And if the samanim are not considered physical on the wool, so he has to pay him the price of the samanim, like when he stole it. The boy said, if you want, a monkey took the samanim, and the monkey painted the wool. And because there's no increase in value, the monkey doesn't. The wool belongs to one person. The dyes belong to somebody else. The kaasi koifet sabilahu. A monkey came along, colored the tzemer that belonged to Ruvain with the samanim that belonged with Shimon. But no human being did any kind of ma'aser. So if we say yesh svach saman al gabi tzemer, if there is these physical samanim on the wool, the amar lay, so the owner of the dye that had it stolen can say to the owner of the wool, Havli samanim gabechninu, give me my samanim that are in your wool. Or there's nothing really there. The Amarle, so the owner of the wool can say as a response, Les l'chabay klum, there's nothing in here. So how do we answer this? Toshma. Beget shetzavu beklipi de orla. Orla is the fruit of a tree the first 3 years. Asr bachila, asr bano. So there's a garment that they dyed with orla fruit. Yidolek, you have to burn the beget because it's asr bano. Must be that even coloration of a garment is chazusa milsihi. Seeing it, there's something there. I mean, if there's nothing there, why would you have to burn the garment? So there is, that's a raya. Yesh svach samanim. Amar Rava, no. Hanoah nir leinayim asr Torah. The Torah asr prohibited you to have hanoah with your eyes from a colored garment colored with orla, even though there's nothing mamashus there. Doesn't mean in a general case that dye is considered a dover shel mamish regarding dinei mamanas. Where do we see that the Torah assered hanoah of vision, the Tanya? Arelim lo yayachel, ein li ala yisrachila. Minayim shagam lo yenem imenu. You can't have any benefit. Lo yitzba bo, you can't paint with it. Lo yadlik bo saner, you can't use it as fuel. Talmud Lemar, Varaltem or lasos perio, shalosh shanim yelachem arilim lo yachel, double lash. The rabbi says kulam, any type of ano. So back to our question of whether there's mamoshus in dye, toshma. Beged shetzavu b'tsevam miklipe shvius. You have perish shvius, and you dyed a garment with perish shvius. Yidolek, when the Zman beer comes, you have to burn it. Must be it's a davar shel mamish. So the Gemara says no. There's a special gzeres hakos of shiny awesome. She'amar krat tia kol tvasa lechol. Bav yosa tehei. It remains shvius no matter what. Rava Rami. Rava showed a contradiction. It's not. Beged shetzova beklipe orla. A garment that was dyed with orla. Yidolek, you should burn it. Alma shechazusa milsahi. A change in color, it has mamoshes. So the Gemara says, Verminu. I'll show you a stira. Revius dam shenivla babais. You have revius dam of a corpse that got absorbed in the walls of a house. Habayis and everything inside the house tome, because oil atuma. But army law habayis tor. Other people say no, it's tor. So what's the machlokas? V'lo pligi. They're not really arguing. They're talking about two different cases. The mandover that said that the bais was tome, bekelim davumi kara. You had furniture in the house before the house absorbed the revius adam. The one that says that the bais is tor, became the asul basov. Furniture that came after the house absorbed the blood. Nivla biksus, if a garment absorbed the blood, royal. We see in miskabesis haksus yotzben revius dam. If during the laundry process a revius dam comes out of it, tmeya. The imlav, if a revius dam does not come out, tohira, it doesn't have the ability to tell me what's in the house. So even though you see the revius dam in the beged, and you can see it, the mara itself isn't viewed as a revius if you can't get it out of there. So that's a stira to what we say about beged shetzavu beklipe orla yedole. Rav Kahana mikula reviu shaduka. This is not regular dinim. This is bedam tvusa. We don't know whether the blood that we're dealing with is blood that came out of a corpse, or maybe some of the blood came out when he was still alive. And therefore the tomb is only drabana. And therefore you could be mekel because it's only rabban. Rava Rami, it's not. Miminat soivim, sviche sotim v'koitza. Certain things that grow that are used for dyeing. Yesh lehen din shvius. They also are considered perish shvius. Vilidmeim. And if you sell them, it's considered money of shvius. Yesh lehen din beer. Once the trigger comes that you have to burn everything, you have to burn them too. And lidmeim beer, to the money too. Alma, eitzin, yesh ben mishum kedusha shvius. Even though there's no fruit on these trees, it has a din of kedusha shvius. But v'reminu, I'll show you a stira. Ale kanim, ale kfanim, shegivivan b'chave. Up Nasa, you have branches of grapes that are piled up. Im lokton lachila, if you were going to eat these, yesh b'hem mishum kedusha shvius. If you gather them le'etzim for fuel, ain't b'hem mishum kedusha shvius. So how could you say over there that those items that are plants but are used for dye has kedusha shvius? Umishani Rava himself was metaretz amakra v'haisa shabbos haaretz lachem le'achla. It kedusha shvius is chal on something that can be eaten. B'mi shana also biur shavim. So when you eat something, you have hana and you destroy at the same time. Yotzu eitzim, regular wood that's used for fire, is hanos lacher biur. Means you destroy it, but it turns into charcoal, coals, and they burn even much longer. So it's not hanaos l'biur and shavim. But plant material that's used for dye, they are destroyed, and you have hana at the same time when you see the color in a garment. And then we ask, va'ika eitzim de mashchan, wood of olives. You use them for torches. Shanatz and shavim. There, the hana and the biur, because when you use a torch, it's not turning into a coal later on. Yet, we don't. These kind of wood doesn't have kedusha shvius. Regular wood, and even those that you could use as a torch, it's mainly for burning and to create coals, and therefore the majority you would not have the hana and the biur at the same time. Okay. Tomorrow we're going to learn at 4 o'clock. Okay?
Saturday
we're going to learn at 7:30.
7:30, right?
Let me ask you a question. Maybe we could learn in shul. What time is mincha this Shabbos?
I don't know the collection.
1 second. I don't know the calling back from based on last Shabbos.